Tracey, stop it. Stop it.
What am I doing?
Stop it.
What did I do?
Charging. I'm looking around. Charging by time. You have to start. Not you. Just kidding. I know you don't. I know you don't. We need to talk about this. This is a big topic. Okay, this is our opinion.
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice, ladies and gentle frogs.
Everybody do you.
You can do you, but we're like, I just want you to just listen to our logic. You know, if you are out there, which is a big
scary. That's scary.
It's scary. I think there's a lot of good information that we can provide, and then you can make a decision, right?
Of course. Different ways of thinking things. Whether you agree, disagree, sometimes you go, oh.
Correct. But we believe you should stop charging by time if you are charging by, and we're going to tell you why.
We believe we're 100% right.
We are right. You are wrong, Tracey.
Yes. But you do you.
Stop, but you do you. We're going to judge you until...
Silently.
Yes, silently. But you do you, boo. You do you.
You.
Okay, so I really want to talk about this. I think this is super important. We've been getting this question a lot lately.
It always
comes
up.
Yeah, and it's nice to look. It's the end of 2023, or that we're now in 2024. Is this has it changed? Let's talk about it again.
Things do change.
Things
sometimes.
do change.
Yeah.
That's why we have to always talk about these really important topics, especially pricing. And as a matter of fact, this morning it came up on our live stream, and I was like, "Oh, well, Tracey, why wouldn't?" And then you reminded me, "Oh, right." So let's talk about this. Why? First of all, why do people want to charge by time? What are they thinking in terms of like?
Because it makes sense when you say it, right? Okay, client wants this extensive art. I don't want to charge per color because if I was charging $5 per color and I'm only using 3 colors, that's $15, but this is intense artwork. I know I'll charge per minute or per hour or per 30, whatever it is.
Right.
And then that way it takes the guesswork out of what to charge.
Right. You're just like, it's very simple. Yeah, you're right. In if you look at it from the surface, it's like, oh, easy,
it's uncomplicated.
Simple, super easy for the client to understand. Hey guys, I'm charging by time.
Yep.
It's $1 a minute, $2 a minute, whatever you charge. But this is what I charge.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense as to why. As a matter of fact, again, I say this morning, it made sense to me.
It totally does. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well,
on the surface, great.
For art though, Tracey, isn't that okay? Like, I mean, maybe the set you have your price, but maybe the art, because it can be really complex and you just don't know. And then you got into the details of like, what are some of the complications that can happen? Okay, so why don't you charge by time, by the minute, whatever the hour,
So it's the same as whether it's art or not art. Some people are like, I charge per the minute, per the hour. And what happens when you are faster than others, right? First, you're probably not getting paid what you should for that artwork.
So you're penalizing yourself.
You're punishing yourself. Because
right.
you're quick.
Right.
The other thing is now my client, I'm telling him, let's just pick a number, $10 per minute, which is a lot. It's good.
Jesus.
Do that. If you want to do that. But no, whatever it is you've picked, $1 per minute, whatever. Now, as the minutes tick by, the client's doing the math, right?
Yeah.
Math.
Every minute they're like,
we're at 20.
Right.
We're at $20.
Right.
Can you go faster? Can you they get fidgety, which is going to mess up your art. Then what happens if you do mess something up? Well, that's not my fault. You messed up. You took that off, but you're going to charge me per minute for that?
And 100% it's going to be on the client's mind.
100%. And they probably will say something. Because if I'm being charged per minute and you mess something up, how is that my fault? Why am I paying for your mistake?
Right.
So ultimately, it can get very stressful for you because the minutes are ticking by in your head too. We always have these stressful conversations that maybe even the client's not even thinking, but we're doing the same thing. We're ticking the minutes like, oh gosh, it's been 20. Are they okay with that?
Right.
Maybe I should not. And then you start second guessing yourself, which is going to cost you time, right? So for me, it's more simplistic to go, hey, that artwork is going to cost you XYZ. And then also, you get to use what you want. You get to do it the way you want. You get to do all that stuff instead of you trying to go, oh, shoot, man, if I want to add, but that's going to take more time and they're going to get stressed.
Right.
For me, it just makes more sense.
Right.
It takes the guesswork for it. And again, because we've had these conversations in our head, well, I don't want to tell my customer that that's going to be $25 because they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that price. But it probably will get close maybe to that anyway. And at least your client knows what it's going to cost.
Right.
And so we have these stressful conversations that our clients don't even care about. So I guarantee most of the time the client's going to get the artwork anyway.
Yeah.
Then on the flip side, what if the client doesn't want to pay it? Fine. Why do artwork? It's not a hobby. This is not a hobby.
Right.
Maybe for some, maybe nail enthusiasts, that's cool. That's whatever. But for a nail tech in the salon, if I go home and I tell my husband, well, really, I did some artwork today that should have been $50, but I charge per minute and I'm quick. I'm not quick at art. That's never going to happen. But let's say the person's quick. So I charged 15. So you undercharged $35. That's $35 for food, for insurance, for this is a business.
Correct.
It's not a hobby.
That's, I think, one of the bigger points here is that a lot of nail professionals have to think about this. Not like if you're a hobbyist or a nail enthusiast, then you take
You're probably
whatever.
not charging at all.
You're not charging.
You're just having fun.
You shouldn't charge.
You shouldn't,
You're
because
actually not allowed to.
Yeah. True.
But if you're in the salon and like you said, maybe you were a hobbyist, you are officially a professional now. You're doing this for a living. This is a business, period, end of story. And it is really difficult mentally to make that transition, right? Of like, wait, I still feel kind of bad asking. You have to get out of that mentality and you just got to like go. This is my price. This is what I'm charging. This is what I'm doing, Because
99% of the time, your client's going to do it anyway, right? Because that's what they wanted. So I always go back to hair. Let's say I go into, extensions. It's not a hobby for her, but let's say she loves doing it. Do you think she's going to give me extensions for
hell no
$40 because she just really loves doing it? No.
Heck no.
You have the talent. Charge for the talent.
You have to charge the talent. The other thing too is like, when someone, so if you like, okay, how do you charge for this? I want this art candy canes. Okay. How much is it? I charge by the minute. The next question you're going to get is, so how long is that going to take you?
Immediately.
And
I would.
of course.
Next question.
You want to know, am I paying 15, 30? Is it going to take you 45 minutes, $45?
And what are you going to say? I'm not sure.
Exactly.
I would rather know the price.
Yes. The client would rather know the price. Instead of surprise, it's $68 because I know I said it was 34, but it took me 68 minutes, and so now it's $68. Nobody wants that, dude.
And what if you need to answer the phone? What if you need to go to the bathroom? It's all tick,
click, 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 click.
In your customer, even if you're not going to charge them for it, that's what they're thinking. You feel the stress. They have the stress. Again, there's probably someone arguing with us right now. And if that's your business motto and it's working for you, great. But it sounds stressful to me.
I know, for me as well. And look, I'll give you another example. Mm-hmm. Lawyers, attorneys charge by the hour. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a lot.
And it's in like 15-minute increments. So like if I have a conversation for 1 minute, they charge 15 minutes worth of time. They charge a quarter of what the hour. If I go 16 minutes, they charge 30 minutes. Okay. How do I know this? Because I've asked, because I look at the bill and I'm like, why the hell? And I've called and said, hey, how come this, I was on the phone for like 15, like I actually look at I'm very conscious when I'm on the phone with the lawyers, how much time I'm spending on the phone. Yeah. Because they're charging me.
And all of a sudden they start talking very slow.
Oh my God. It's like, oh, how's the kid? Kids are good.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's like, let's speed it up. And that's the issue. That's how attorneys have always done it, you know.
But they're getting hundreds per hour.
Exactly. They're getting.
If you're doing that, go for it.
Hundreds. You're. It's like $500 to $900 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, is what their rates are, and but it makes I am extremely conscious, and so obviously nail tech's not going to charge that much, but still, there's no way around it. Once you do that, the client is going to be like, tick, 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 what's going on? And they're going to be asking questions or maybe feel, you know, that like, look, there's two things that will happen and both are not good. So the first one is you're a speed demon and you're crushing it and you're finishing art or your services really quick.
I've seen them. It's like, wow.
Right?
That's
amazing.
Crazy. Yeah.
Your client is happy. You're getting burned out because you're not charging enough. The flip side is you're slow and you're charging too much. Let's say the client's pissed off but you're making some money. So it's like you're getting a benefit if your skill is less. If you're less skilled, so to speak. I mean, speed is just one skill, but I'm assuming that technique, everybody's got it. Let's say you got your technique down, everybody's equivalent there. The person that goes slower makes more money. Doesn't make sense. To me, doesn't make sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's not fair.
You know, and I like what you just brought up because we did talk about this on Twitch. Burnout. When does burnout happen? These are one of the ways burnout happens.
100%.
I know you love doing it. I know it's fun, but eventually there's that moment you're like, why am I just over it? Why am I tired? Why do I don't get up? I don't want to go in. Why? A lot of times it's because you're not charging correctly.
Correct.
And this is one of the ways. And what happens is we get annoyed with the customer. It is not the customer's fault.
That's right.
It is our own fault.
Completely. I talked about this morning too, is, you know, when we were first starting, when I first started out here, my brother and my mom were already like 7 years into the business. I joined in. After 1 year of working here, I was burnt.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was fried. Why? Because we were spinning our wheels. We were not making money and like dying. And I was burnt. I was so fried, Tracy. It was like, you know, like just coming to work, I was like, oh my God, but there's no option.
You're not getting the benefit.
We're not getting any benefit at all. So once we started to implement processes, procedures, pricing, we changed our pricing and all this stuff. Then the company started to make some money, and then it was like, oh my God, this is fun.
Whee!
You know,
so
like,
true.
Like you're having success. The company's making money. We're not as stressed. All of a sudden my burnout disappeared.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
disappeared.
so true. Now on that, let's say you're listening to this and going, okay, that makes sense, but how do I know what to charge? This is pre-work. Right? This is why we have things on our Instagram. We have things, call it our portfolio, basically, is what I consider posting. And we have just general ideas of how long, you know, if you do artwork, you know how long, or how complicated, what it's going to involve, how much. And so have preset thoughts and ideas in your head and pre-designs, you know, that way you know, that's why per minute it kind of is easier for them because they're not sure. So this is where we have to do some work ahead of time.
For sure. But then once you do that work ahead of time and once it's dialed in, it is like your client knows exactly how much they're paying. You know what you're charging. You know what you're making. You're not under the gun of click, 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 tick, tick, tick. You know, the clock is ticking and I have to, and then the client's like, are they going to finish? And you're like, oh my God, I'm not charging enough or too much or whatever the case. All that disappears. All
of it disappears. And this is why I love the fact that we have text messaging. Have your clients send what they want. Or concepts, you know, it's not like exact. But what are you thinking? Oh, I'm liking these candy canes. I'm liking this. And I'm liking a little snowflake. Got you. Okay, that is going to be in the range. You know, because people like to change things of X amount. Cool. Oh, and you didn't even have to have the awkward conversation in front of them.
Right.
It's over text.
Boom.
Take it or leave it. It's no big deal if you don't want it.
Yeah. That's I think so huge because it gets, like you said, there's that awkward conversation about money. Get that out of the way. Another thing too, Tracy, that I think people really struggle with, and I've been doing this for so long, talking about money or making decisions based on money or investing in things here at the company that require large amounts of money that you can get frozen in your decision making because you're like, oh, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make an error if I charge too little. And here's the thing. There is you can change it. Like if you set your pricing, if you're just starting and you set your pricing up and then you realize, damn it, I'm not making enough money, you can change it.
Everybody gets raises. But the problem is, let's say you decide I'm frozen. I'm not going to make a decision.
Right.
That's awkward.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's awkward next week. It's awkward the
awkward.
following week. It's
Yes.
awkward. You never get out of it. So how do
don't.
we get past it? We just have to make a decision.
You have to just make a decision. And for right or for wrong, sometimes it will be, oh, I nailed that, cool. And then you're good. But a lot of times you will make a mistake and it's like, dang it, that's not, but it's okay.
It's okay.
You can fix it. Like, okay, you know what? Starting in May, I'm going to put my clients on notice, just let them know, hey, I've had to change my art prices. They are now X. It's now this.
Yep.
And that's more realistic is you will make mistakes and you will have to adjust and change, and you do. And that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think this is really important. I hope people, don't get mad at us,
Because honestly, we say this before, many, many times. All we want for you is to make the best living,
Correct.
Support your family. It does not benefit us one way or the other.
Correct. Right.
That we got nothing in the game, right? So that's all. It's just things to think about. Everybody has a lot of business advice.
Yep.
You might get a different view from someone else. You take all the information and you make the best decision for yourself.
And then you do it that way, and then you see how it works out. And if you have to make changes, you make changes. And that's it. Awesome. Thanks, Trace.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel.